Well, hi there, racing fans, and welcome to another edition of Winning Ways, where Laf and I are in the hot seat. And Laf's at least he's not ready to slit his wrists today. You know, last week, misery, absolute misery. This week, looking a bit better.
Yeah, I'm strong, James.
Yeah.
Never get me slitting my wrist. Someone else has to do it for me.
Yeah, we had to hide away the ropes and the turpentine and all those type of things.
High buildings.
Last week, high buildings, we had to keep you on the ground.
Last week we had a good week, James.
No, last week, Tottenham Hotspur were not very good.
Oh, no, they went out to Arsenal. Now they're back. I think the Man United boys have got to resign themselves to the fact that the league is over.
I think Dave Goss and them, we might have had a bet with him and King at lunch one day, about where they're going to finish according to Tottenham Hotspur. They thought they were stealing money, those poor fish.
Those poor fish.
Anyway, we've got a hell of a program for you today, and Laf is in fine shape. Had a couple of winners during the week, couple of good winners, and I see you, Adam Kethro, you take the good horses from him and make them into better horses.
Thank God, Adam and I are mates. He always keeps me in the loop.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Adam.
I wish he'd keep me in the loop. I remember when I worked for him. Jeez, what a difficult man, Adam. You can send me a couple of...
He's my mate. Adam's my mate.
Okay, send me some meat rather than Adam. Anyway, the point is that we've got Mike de Kock, very interesting interview. We're going to be chatting to Michelle Nerak in your call, where we'll get up to date with everything at Gold Circle. But let's move straight into 3 to follow. Right, well, 3 to follow is actually 2 to follow. The third one to follow is going to be the Mike de Kock interview, which is really well worth following. But we're going to the first one, and it's Ilichi at
Sounds like one of my nicknames, Ilichi's.
The Rock.
No, is that what it means?
Yeah.
Ilichi means the rock.
Yeah.
Okay, it doesn't in my nickname's case, but Ilichi, beautifully bred, James.
You know a woman named a horse in England and America called Rock Hard 10?
Yes, it was a good horse.
Yeah, do you know why she named it?
I'm starting to go off a very, very straight tangent here, James. Somehow there's going to be a sexual connotation with you.
Well, there is. Let's leave it at that.
Okay.
Rock Hard 10, I think it was something to do with her lover, who was a gym fanatic.
Okay.
And had very big, strong
We got
biceps.
it, James.
Yeah, Ilichi.
Ilichi, Fastnet Rock,
Yeah.
out of a Sadler's Home, stepped out for Michael de Kock and his gang. Patently short, they said. Well, let's have a look.
Yeah, let's go and pick it up at the start. Here it is, drawn right on the outside, and Scottsville, you did on the outside. Although the winner was drawn 13 and won a very good race, Dion Fisher's horse.
Yeah, Interface Ace, that's right. And this, I really had a good look at this filly. Oh, is it a filly? Let me get it right. Ilichi. I see Mumsy's Jet was second, so that's just run again since then. But here, you've picked it up. And there are the Shake Mo colours, 2 off the right. And on its outside, moving up into it, is
Mumsy's Jet.
Mumsy's Jet. And Mumsy's Jet's the stablemate. In the stablemate's colours, 5 off the inside.
Yeah.
But very good win by Interface Ace for Dion Fisher. But I really like this horse. They said it would be too short. Not in the photo at the moment. And Shake Mo's yellow and blue colours, you'll see it just angling into your photo in behind them. The rider having to stand up as it clipped heels there.
Yeah, well, it's right next door to the winner at this stage, and in fact, it's gone on the inside of the winner. The winner's coming with a sheepskin noseband here, right down the middle of the track, and there it is. The winner in the pink and black colours goes away and wins very nicely. Interface Ace, but this runs on really well. One smack from Warren Kennedy seemed to be a bit all over the place, but I think you can be with us next time.
And the runner-up, Mumsy's Jet, was beaten in a desperate finish yesterday at Scottsville. So form looks good. Ilichi, the Australian horse by Fastnet Rock, a champion stallion at a Sadler as well. Need we say more? Watch when it goes over a bit of a trip.
Let's go and have a look at the next one, and we're going to go to Turfentine, Tuesday the 14th of January. And Corne Spies ran 1-2 in this race, but watch the way the second horse runs, Corne's Girl. The fancied horse, Kiss Me Hardy, for the Van Hasteen, Billy Henderson, all that team, and they were all there, which was fantastic for them. And this is a very well-bred daughter of Captain L, I think it is. But Cornet's Girl, a really good run. Let's go and pick them up at the start.
Yeah, this is a grey horse, and the money had come for it, and it jumps out. The grey horse is the winner in Bram van Essie's colours. Just squeezed out. It looks like the English Zarkers colours. Can't go with them, James.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, it's quite a long way behind them at this stage already. The winner, Kiss Me Hardy, is gone, and Cornet's Girl's at the back now, and actually lost. And Kiss Me Hardy's now got to catch the two in front of it, but Cornet's Girl hanging out to the outside. Benny Dean riding it. Watch this one run on. Runs past the whole field.
At this stage, you thought, well, it's a race in 4, even though the grey horse was the money horse, it looked a race in 4. But have a look at the horse we found here. By Kildonan, fighting, barging to chase the stablemate, and really picks it up nicely.
Yeah, absolutely flies. Runs past, as I say, the whole field. There were a couple that were fancied in the race. The winner, far too good for it, and the winner's a very nice filly, but they beat the third horse like 4 lengths. You know, it was just an absolute massacre of the third one.
Who said Kiss Me Hardy? Don't say Stan Laurel.
Was it Nelson?
Correct. Horatio Nelson on his deathbed. Kiss Me Hardy. Look after Lady Hamilton and Kiss Me Hardy. You're very good, James. James, these public schools that you were sent to, your dad, well spent, good education.
Even the Borstal that you were at, you read about Horatio Nelson, Kiss Me Hardy. So it shows you it doesn't make any difference which school you were sent to. Let's go and have a listen to what Mike de Kock's got to say, because this is having a little chat with him. This morning it was recorded about all his runners in Dubai over the last week and this week coming.
Racing the UAE Derby.
Look at that. He is straight.
Well, this lady is in the winner. 2 lengths away in a field in the Derby. It's Victory Moon. Back comes again. Victory Moon. Ipitombe, bred in Zimbabwe. Ipitombe, 4th and 5th side of Bliss Bliss. Ipitombe, she makes her run. Ipitombe, and Ipitombe takes the lead. And Ipitombe eventual wins 2 seconds for the Dubai Duty Free. Ipitombe, the winner.
Hello?
Hello, Mike. How are you?
All right, you goody?
All the way from Dubai. Tell me about your morning quickly. How's it been? It's a tough morning, Monday mornings, I know. Trying to get your entries in and all that, and get the horses ready for the weekend.
Yeah, entries are done by 9. And then you wait for the fields to come out, probably about 3 hours later.
Okay, well, I've got a pretty good idea of what's going on. Firstly, let's just recap. Last Thursday looked like it was a pretty good day for you. I know nothing won, but they all ran pretty well and ran on very strongly, most of them.
Listen, 100%, James. You know, I mean, I'm away from the course, actually pretty satisfied the way they ran. Especially the ones that have travelled, you know, being the drops. So, I mean, they are way behind fitness-wise, you know. And even a horse like us as well, he's behind. He made a good move and then got tired. So I think they all that are, you know, big chance of winning in the carnival.
The filly Agruma looked very impressive. She ran a very good race. Only got collared late by what's supposedly a very good filly of Godolphin's.
Yes, and you know, and she just ran out of steam, Jack. That was all.
Full Combat looked very nice. He's a beautiful looking horse. He's matured into a lovely horse.
Yeah, running on well. Obviously way too short. You know, he's even I think a mile's going to be too short for him. I think he gets up to 10 furlongs. We'll see the rest of him.
All right, let's go to this week, because I had a quick look on the entries, and you've got Murhi in the first.
Yes, yeah, he's 105. I think he's possibly a bit better than 105, this horse. The only thing against him is going to be obviously coming out of the layoff. But I mean, he's a reasonable sprinter, and I think he can hold his own at the handicap company.
Excellent. And then in the second, or multiple nominated, you've got Sanchawis as an interesting horse to us South Africans.
James, yeah. I mean, I think this horse has got a few pound in hand. He's rated at 100 or 101, I think. He is working exceptionally well. He'd be my best runner on the weekend, I think. He's a light horse. I don't think he'll need it that much, but he's a horse that gives me the impression he'll take to the all-weather, and if we run him there, and he's also winning the carnival. In fact, I'm hoping he's more than one because he's his rating, you know.
The two overseas contenders for you, Vasily and Daddy Longlegs, you know, they're not South African horses, but I see they're both in.
Yeah, Vasily seems to be a very honest handicapper. And Daddy Longlegs is coming right. He's taken a long time. He's got a throat op and, you know, various issues. So I think he's on the mend, but I mean, he's not a reliable horse.
All right, then we go to the big one, the Alpha Heady Fort, which you've won a number of times, and you've got Kavanagh, Anaerobia, Heavy Metal, and something else. It was fourth. Oh no, those
Gale
are
Force 10.
Yeah, Gale Force 10.
Yeah, he's coming back from a rest. He's a nice horse, James. He's going to need it a bit, but certainly I think a horse to watch in the future when with the run under the belt. He's a really nice horse. Sean's got Heavy Metal just to give a run. Be a bit short for him, but he's a hell of a nice horse and he's doing all the right things. And Anaerobia seems to have improved a lot. I mean, and he's fit, so I'd give him a bit of an outside chance.
Really?
Kavanagh, we got in. Not sure to run him. We'll see how he works tomorrow. But in 1400, he has won before. It seems to be great.
Interesting horse in the race, and I don't know if you've seen it, was this horse Mishawish, which is owned by Al Shakab Racing. You know, that's this new guy, Sheikh Jahan. Have you seen this horse?
Yes. I haven't seen him, James. No, I haven't. They obviously the Qataris are going to target this meeting. You know, the carnival.
Okay, well, listen, I know that you've got other things to do, more important, but all the best for the weekend, and thanks so much for chatting to us again. And, I see that the machine's starting to roll on, and hopefully you have a good one.
No, well, listen, we always thought we were going to start slowly, and especially with the horses that have travelled, but, I'm quite excited about the next 3-4 weeks.
Just a quick one, Micah. Obviously, I know you've had a lot of Tiger Ridges, and he passed on during the week, which was very sad, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. And, he was extremely well-bred horse. He's done Mary Stud a hell of a lot of good, and he probably will still have an influence in terms of the fillies and mares that she's got running around there. So,
yeah, maybe.
But, I suppose but it opens the opportunity now for, another young new stallion for Mary sometimes. So,
well,
he's exciting again,
He looks like a sire of mares with that pedigree, the Al Mufti and AP India and the whole lot of them. And, he might just be one of the real big influences in the future.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, all is not lost, although he's not there. But, with all the well-bred fillies and performed fillies that Mary's got there, I think his influence is going to be around for a long time to come. Finishing off, best for the week, Sanchois, maybe we can be the South African horse? Sanchois, I think, James.
Excellent.
I think so. He's really, this horse is working a lot better than 100. So is Alexander Paris, funny enough. They're working better than their ratings, but, it'll be just a fitness issue. But he is a light horse, so he should be okay with it.
I know you're busy, but the quick one, it just seemed that if you got caught on the rail on that all-weather track, you were in big trouble. You don't look like you want to be there.
Dead. It's one of the most unfair tracks I've ever seen in my life, unfortunately. But, after spending $1.5 billion. But if you're on the rail and they're coming back at you, you are stone dead. You're probably better off being deep and sweeping a lot of armchair punters are not going to enjoy that. But that's just the way it is. Unless you're leading, unless you're fourth, then you've got no chance.
Go give those pikeys a hiding. Lovely chatting to you.
Racing the UAE Derby.
Look at that. He is pregnant.
Well, this lady is in the winner. 2 lengths away in a field in the Derby. It's Victory Moon. Back comes again. Victory Moon. Epitombe, bred in Zimbabwe. Epitombe, 4th and 5th side of Bliss. Epitombe, she makes her run. Epitombe takes the lead. And Epitombe eventual wins 2 seconds for the Dubai duty-free. Epitombe the winner.
Well, that's absolutely fascinating. I find chatting to Mike de Kock, he's just such a font of information.
Anyone can listen to him anywhere in the world. He talks sense, he's knowledgeable, and he tells it like it is. And a great advert for all us South Africans.
Wicked sense of humour.
Absolutely, wicked sense of humour, and he's very forthright and great. Listen, he's a man's man. He's a great mate.
Yeah, well, we'll be looking forward to seeing him later this week down at the Cape Thoroughbred Sales. That's where he's flying and jetting into the Cape Thoroughbred Sales. But we're going to move on. It's coming up to the Met, and in fact today I think is the final field for the
Correct.
Met. So that should be fun. We're going to have a look at the Blast from the Past. We're going to have a look at Yoga's Governor's probably greatest triumph. Let's go and have a look at that Met.
The 3-year-old King of Pain and Slumdog Millionaire to complete the lineup. They're all in. We're set to go at the 2000 Gates Fly, and they sent on their way in the 2013 J&B Met. It was a perfect beginning. Martial Eagle, the far side's being ridden along to go up and look for the lead. Beach Beauty landed with speed and is right in touch with him. Now they're slowing it up just a little. Slumdog Millionaire and Tribal Dancer in the thick of things, and Run For It is deep on the outside of runners. Hill 54 is also caught out wide with that yellow cap, and Pomodoro is just in behind that leading group. Jackson is settling about 4 to 5 lengths off them. He's back at the fence, and Black Wing is 3 parts of a length further back. Fabiani and Ice Machine racing behind those. They 8 lengths off this leader. They followed by Master Plan and Bullsara as well back, with Bullsara racing towards the back end of the field. Bravura's in behind that, and the 3-year-old King of Pain is electing to come from last, and he's switched off at the tail of the field. Through the 1200 they go, and Pomodoro's decided the pace is too slow. Pierre Stradham's taken this round them all, and he's off to show the way. Pomodoro has it by a length and a half to Hill 54 racing back in second. Martial Eagle and Tribal Dancer tracking those. Then it's Slumdog Millionaire, and Beach Beauty creeps closer up on the far side of runners. She's cornering about 3 lengths off the lead. Black Wing is in behind these. Jackson bides his time. He's 5 lengths off the leader. Black Wing and Ice Machine race in behind that. Then comes Fabiani. Master Plan is racing further back. Bullsara, Bravura back 1 from last. And King of Pain still sees them all as they spin in the stretch and homeward bound. 600 metres left to go, and Pomodoro brought the field for home along the inside. Hill 54 is quick to move in and challenge. Martial Eagle races in behind that. Beach Beauty has switched for a clear run in the centre. She has 2 to make up. Tribal Dance is right there towards the inside. Now Jackson's in the clear 2 and being asked to race in earnest. Martial Eagle meantime has hit the front of the Met. Beach Beauty is out after that one. Hill 54 back towards the inside. Hill 54 and Martial Eagle. It's Martial Eagle in front. Hill 54 trying to cut back the deficit, but Martial Eagle is going to cause the upset. Martial Eagle wins it from Hill 54. Beach Beauty back third. Pomodoro. Jackson never went through with his effort. Fabiani further back. Slumdog Millionaire.
Right, well, we're going to be getting all the information about the Met for next week's show. And remember, the draw takes place today.
I think it's today or tomorrow. There's definitely a live crossing, which is fantastic.
On
It's a
Teletrack,
very, very good race. Any early prediction?
Yeah, I think as I said to you,
You've been
last
on
week,
form. You tipped early. You said to me this last 3 we sat here, they all won.
Yeah.
So I'm going to bow to
I think
experience.
Jackson.
You're going with Martin.
I'm really sad that, as I said last week, that Beach Beauty is not running, because if Beach Beauty was running, she was the only filly that she was the only horse that ran on in the race last year, and nothing made up any ground because they went so slowly. She would be the winner.
Yeah, listen, Jackson's got a standing chance. I'm going to stick my neck out, I think, next week. I want to see the final field. I want to look at everything.
All right, well, next week, stick your...
1:30 tomorrow. We're getting word that it's going to be a live crossing.
Yeah.
Live crossing for that
1:30
field.
Tuesday, that is, because
Yes.
we're recording this on Monday morning.
So-
Okay, 1:30 Tuesday, live crossing to Cape Town for the J&B Met Craw. So let's go and have a look at Plum of the Week. Well, we're going to have a look at
Plum of the week.
Have a look at the plum of the week. I thought that was what was coming up now.
Yeah, it is going to be plum of the week, is what I thought.
Fantastic. Okay, well, let's go back and have a look at it.
Yeah.
Forward nicely, and Resolution moves up to Imagine. Resolution hits the front, Imagine's down the inside, but Resolution's going on, and Resolution matter of strides to win easy. Resolution by 3. Jolie Kitten will be second, third Imagine, then Mamselle and Wow Factor.
Well, the only place to have a bet is Interbet. As you know, you can see them all over the place. They're different class, 14 to 10. You've got to get about Resolution on Interbet. What a price. What a winner. It was an absolute blinder. It was a red letter day. I think the last 6 favorites in a row won that day. Or last 5 favorites. The first leg of the pick 6 was the field. I think we discussed it and didn't listen.
That's right.
And the last 5 legs were the favorites.
There we go. But the bookies are taking a bit of a pounding. They've gone from business class, first class to the cargo section. Those travelling with the Met.
You got them right out of it. Wildcat Rising, I hear, got them right out of it.
Right out of it.
Right out of it. They tell me that there's a hamper coming in the post for you.
I wouldn't mind a hamper in the post. But that was a good plum. SP 8 to 10, and you could get 14 to 10.
Yeah.
Interbet, way to go.
Let's go and take a break. We're going to be back after the racing and have a look at current affairs.
Right, welcome back to Current Affairs. One big race around the country, we like to call them big races. They were listed races. They paid tribute to Michael Roberts yesterday, and what a great rider he was, and nice to have races named after people he was associated with. But we do group racing here, and there was one group race, the Scepter Stakes down in Cape Town. And James, it's always been it's a good race. And again, this year was a race that I thought Which would win.
Yeah, Lef, you know, there's some things that you can teach people, but others you can never teach them. And it just shows you. It was the lay of the day as far as I was concerned. And travelled down to Cape Town in the week before the race had won, and then spent 2 weeks sitting in Cape Town waiting for this race, or 3 weeks sitting waiting for this race. Dead in the water. Couldn't have it. Reflective Image ended up winning, and what a win. Brett Crawford is on an absolute roll. And let's go and pick them up at the start and go and have a look at Reflective Image.
All clear, sprinting in the Scepter Stakes from the 1200. Well, Witcher began well, so too did Tora Bay and Franny. Reflective Image setting just off the early call, Pure Power. Seacat is racing deeper out as they settle fully into stride. Come down the hill towards the 800. They once again all tacking over towards the stand side. Franny is the one in front that leads the way from Captain's Lullaby. Well, Witcher sitting on the heels of the early speed with Tora Bay. Then we find Seacat deeper out. Pure Power is being followed by Jet Bell Valdivia. And behind that comes Reflective Images, now dropped to the tail as they come past the 600. Franny's the one in front from Captain's Lullaby, and Well Witcher is tracking those leaders. Tora Bay is creeping through between runners. Deeper out we got Captain of My Soul, Jet Bell, and Reflective Image is being angled to the outside as they enter the final 300. Franny's the one in front from Tora Bay. Now Well Witcher gets popped the question. Jet Bell and Reflective Image is starting to reel them in up the outside. We're into the final 150. Reflective Image is coming out along the inside of that one. We've got Franny, but it's Reflective Image. Jet Bell taken off. Reflective Image with the advantage, and Reflective Image beats Jet Bell, and behind that we had Franny, then came Valdivia and Well Witcher.
Yeah, there we go. What a wonderful result. Glenat, Brett Crawford, but I'm very, very pleased for the Jolliffe and their child.
Yeah, Gary and Jackie and the kid.
Gary and Jackie and the kid. Well done, Gary and Jackie and the kid. Fantastic to win this race. They're wonderful people, and as you know, Jackie was involved with Epitombi.
Yeah.
And she came over to Dubai to watch it win its big race, and they've been involved in breeding a long time. There's a definite Zimbabwean influence there.
No doubt. It's sort of a goalkeeper mare. He stood a lot of his time in Zimbabwe, and interesting to see that they had some very nice horses at the Cape Thoroughbred sales last year, And the Cape Thoroughbred sales, big sale this weekend, Thursday and Friday.
I've always, funny enough, I always have a chat with Jackie. Phil and I know well, as I say, from Dubai, and she's been very good in pointing me in the right direction. We bought some very, very nice horses from her, and I've got a few in the yard that I like. I'll definitely be going down to look at hers again. But I was just watching the breeding program the other day. It was an excellent program.
Breeding
and
to
I was
Win.
Breeding to Win. I was listening to John Costa and talking about distorted humours. Having just come back from Australia, this is a major, major, major stallion. And
I see there are 2 on the sale.
yeah, and this was a Speightstown, I think. Owen?
Yeah, Speightstown.
You can get them in Keenan. You get them anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
These are fantastic pedigrees. And funnily enough, when I was on the bus going to the sale, there were a couple in front. I'd never met them before. An American and Australian talking, saying, "Oh, you got to get out of South Africa. There's this $1 million sale. I'm going to Cape Town." I thought, the word's getting round, which is fantastic. That it's a wonderful stake, James, and there'll be so much interest in what is a very, very good gene pool.
Absolutely, and it's a very big sale. You've got a $1 million prize.
It's fabulous.
That's the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow for graduates of this sale and the next sale that they have. And
I was trying to qualify that. Is book 2 qualified?
I think so, yes. I think that's exactly.
That'll be
book 1 and
fantastic.
book 2,
That'll
yeah.
up the value in both those sales.
Well, that's what people chase, those type of things. And as a result, we're all going to the sale because suddenly there is some interest.
We're all in the dream factory, James. We've got to hope that $1 million, imagine you trained the winner of a $1 million race down here, 7 furlong. It's a fantastic trip. And what I do like is the catalogue. It's very, very
That's a
good.
strong
All our top stallions are represented, and the young ones coming through. So if you can get down there, get down there. It's Thursday and Friday of this week. A wonderful sale. See some great thoroughbreds and rub shoulders with people from all over the world who are coming to have a look at these horses.
Right, we're going to move on, and we've got an interesting clip. We don't really know what it means, but this was from one of the presenters, and we've got to be very careful which presenters we pick on, because there's some that are very, very thin-skinned. But this guy's thick enough skinned for us to be able to try and analyze what he is trying to say to the jockey in this interview.
Is it 9 now, Janine?
Yes, yeah, I think so.
Things going well. You still getting a bit of work in the mornings, although you're a busy lady these days.
Well, between work, I still ride work with Charles.
And how's things? You mostly go down to Clearwood and get a leg over?
Yes, yes.
Right, there we go. A beauty from Dee's interviewing Janine Noordman. And James, used to ride work in your heyday. Did you just get a bit of leg over at Clearwood?
I'm not prepared to comment, actually, because... And
Well,
I'm
what
sure,
is he referring to?
well, there could
Right
be a
work.
number of things, but at the end of the day, well done, Dees. It was extremely funny. And
Yeah.
when you had the whole of South Africa cracking up, so we had to pay it again. That was the funny for the month of January. Dees Dynan asking Lady Jockey about her leg over experiences. Let's move on and talk about exactly what we've got in...
Yeah, what else is happening internationally? And James, just to touch on, I don't know if people know, South African rider Glyn Schofield has picked up a ban in Australia, and he's appealing it. He's going to a real top barrister to try and get it appealed. Basically, James, the accusation is he went too fast, and they showed him the fractions or the splits.
That was about 22 seconds of furlong.
He ran, I think, under sort of 59 for 5 and a 102 for 6, and I think it was a mile, and got run out of it late and ran second, but went for home, and they said he never gave the horse a chance to breathe, even though he got chased early in the race, and he's appealed, said, I tried my best, and they said, no, you went too fast, and it's an interesting call.
Well, the biggest problem with horse racing is a perception. The perception out there is that it's not absolutely honest. Okay.
Yes, yeah.
And this is the thing that seems. I think that what's come out of the latest jockey clubs around the world's meetings and this and the other is to try and straighten up this perception, to show that they are actually doing everything in their power to.
It's about image.
Straight. Yeah, that it is properly policed.
You know,
and if you can get that right, consumer confidence will come back.
Yeah, no doubt, James. You must remember, in some countries, people frown upon racing, and they say the jockeys, as you say, aren't that honest and that. But sometimes you get a guy who's had a honest ride and they say give a dog a bad name, they're going to say he's hasn't played by the rules. But it'll be interesting to see the outcome here because they're going to say they didn't listen. I think it's a month.
Well, but you know, I think that in my personal opinion, the more you clamp down on dishonesty in racing, the better the image will be and the better for racing.
No
And
doubt.
I think that if there's any sniff of someone not doing the job
Impropriety.
properly, impropriety is a great word. Get involved with them, step on them. You know.
Yeah. You go. Unfortunately, some of the good guys are going to get taken out. You have to break a few eggs to make an omelette, but the Australian authorities are just not having anything to do with it. You play by their rules. You know, just the horse went too fast. They show them the fractions.
Hong Kong is big for that.
Yes.
You can't get out of line there. You know,
Yes, you can't bump.
Mauritius, apparently they're very, very strong on guys not giving their go. 5 guys the other day gave them all a holiday for not doing their best in a race, supposedly. And I don't think that that's ongoing as well at this stage. So, you know, it's a good thing. I'm 100% behind it.
I wanted to ask you, you did touch base with Michael de Kock on Tiger Ridge. Sad passing.
Yeah, he had the most amazing pedigree, this horse, and he produced that champion filly, Cherry on the Top. She was only the second filly ever to win the Triple Tiara. But I like this horse as a broodmare sire. I bought a couple of his fillies. You know, he was by Stormcat out of Weekend Surprise, and Lassie Deer, AP Indy, Al Mufti, they're in the pedigree. Great broodmare, damn right.
Yeah,
and I think that he'll be a fantastic asset to any stud as a broodmare.
Yeah, you know, Wagner. Wasn't Wagner Tiger Ridge? The
Yeah.
humble hero, Joe Soma, won the big one with him up in Gauteng. Yeah, so a sad loss, and I think Mary will replace it.
Yeah, just talking about broodmares, Valderra, there's a picture on ABC with Valderra, Oasis Dream, the filly, when it was born, and much later they put it up yesterday, which was very interesting, and she is tested in foal to Frankel. So thanks to African Betting Clan for that, you know.
Whereabouts in the world is she at the moment, Valderra, in the UK?
I think she's in the UK, yeah.
And is she still owned by the team who owned her when they raced her?
Yeah,
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So Pippa will have all the news for us down in Cape Town.
100%.
Oh, that's very good. What about Wisden, James?
Well, Wisden, Horse of the Year, again.
Back to back, yeah.
Yeah, again. And the Ramseys, Sarah and Ken Ramsey, are the owners of the year, and they deserve it. They're fantastic.
You know, Wisden's he's only the 6th horse in the history to be Horse of the Year back to back. He also won 2 other categories. And isn't he out of a Wolf Power mare?
Yes, he is.
Yeah, so wonderful.
The influence.
Just shows our influence there. What about the Shima this year? You were telling me about Gentle Donna.
Gentle Donna is the Horse of the Year in Japan, and she's getting aimed at the Shima Classic. She ran 2nd last year to St. Nicholas Abbey. So that's very exciting news for the Dubai World Cup, and you know, that's the Dubai World Cup is well, we'll see just now. We're going to have a little montage, but just on champion fillies. The champion of the world's got to be Treve.
Yeah.
And they've given the plan for her. She's racing this year, which is fantastic. So she goes into training as a 4-year-old. She goes the Prix Gannet in France, Prince of Wales at Royal Ascot. So if, you know, any of you got your bucket list, the Royal Ascot trip, you get out there because you'll see Treve. The Prix Vermeil, which she won last year, and the Prix de l'Arc at Triomphe.
It's nice that they planned everything out. John, I think she was cricket head trainer.
Yeah, cricket head.
18,000 or 14,000.
They bred her as well.
That's right. Couldn't get, and then they sold her for about 8 million after that. Fantastic.
Well, no one really knows what they sold her for. I don't think it was ever disclosed what they sold her for. They sold her before the Arc.
Yes.
And Frankie, the other news is that Frankie Dettori was meant to ride her in the Arc, and he broke his ankle.
Yes.
And he's back this week, apparently, Frankie.
Oh, that's good news.
So that's another bit of news there. But Dubai's on everyone's lips, and you know, I think that we're just starting to get the ball rolling. And I was talking to Phil Giorgio yesterday at the races, and he said, you know, he's halfway there to filling his lot for the thing. So If you're
It always
interested-
fills up late. People, when Michael de Kock steps out all those winners, people say, "Well, we've got to get out there," and it's just really wonderful. They call it the World Cup of Racing, and it's great that great horses come from all over the world and race, and Michael's flying the flag, and hopefully Joey and Sean can add to that. It'll be really big for South Africans, because if our horse of the year can go over there and beat them all, or our Vodacom Durban July winner can beat them all, it'll be even better, won't it?
Yeah, well, let's go and have a look at what we've got in store for you as far as the Dubai World Cup's concerned.
I could have afforded to buy her. She went for 50,000 Zimbabwean dollars at the exchange rate. I suppose I bought watches worth that much money.
Well, I tell you what, if she wins tonight, she wins 1.2 million, and that'll look pretty cheap, won't it? She's a beautiful mare. She's got a great, strong back end on her, and she's broken the course record, which I think is the key for tonight.
Her race record, 12 starts, 10 first, 2 seconds. She's never been worse than that. Ready to go with Terry Spargo.
Off and racing, and the starter caught them in a great line. Said Expedit and Eventual, the first pair to split the line. Masterful began well. King of Happiness settling just behind the speed as they go through the first 200 metres. Epitombi fourth and fifth. Imtiaz out wide, then Sights on Gold, followed by Itakire Power on the inside of Bliss. 3/4 of a length to Paolini. Nahif is second last, and Royal Trist had dropped out to the tail of the field. St. Expedit the leader as they travel past the 1,300 metres mark, led by 2 lengths over Eventual, with a length and a half to Imtiaz, going to third on the outside of King of Happiness. Another length and a half to Masterful, followed by Sights on Goal. Bliss out wide. Epitombi in the middle, and then came Paolini and Itakire Power. Royal Trist is second last, and Nahif 1 deep is ahead away at the tail of the field. St. Expedit is giving them something to catch, travelling down the side, 3 lengths in front. Eventual is second, Imtiaz third, King of Happiness a neck away fourth, then came Masterful, followed by Sights on Goal, sticking to the rail on the inside of Bliss. Epitombi with that group, and then Nahif, followed by Paolini, Itakure Power and Royal Trist as they turn for home. St. Expedit is clear in the straight with 500 metres left to go. St. Expedit under the whip, 2.5 lengths in front. Eventual giving chase, then King of Happiness, followed by Sights on Gold. Imtiaz is giving ground, and down the outside comes Epitombi. Eventual in front at the 250. Epitombi and Royal Trist is running on. Eventual in front. Epitombi coming at Eventual. Epitombi takes the lead. 100 metres left to go. It's Epitombi in front, drawing clear of Paolini, and Epitombi beat Paolini. Royal Trist third, followed by Eventual. Then Masterful, Sights on Gold, Nahif, Imtiaz, Itakire Power, followed by St. Expedit, King of Happiness, and Bliss was last of all.
Well, just like an even money favorite is supposed to do. She was so impressive. Epitombi now 13 starts, 11 wins, 2 seconds. But now from 227, 871,000 in earnings, add $1.2 million to this 4-year-old Bay filly. And what a moment for Zimbabwe, who bred this filly, and of course for South Africa, where she's raced most of her career. Next stop, the US of A. David, down the stretch.
You can see what $750 million can buy for you. She's got class written all over her. She's not the prettiest picture in regards to size, but she's fluid. She puts her head down. She sprints. We know Paolini is very good first time out. Remember, Grandira was the horse that ran him down last year. Epitombi's gone to Paolini, has gone straight past him. She's a little girl. She's got a big heart. She runs very, very fast. And what an historic moment, too, for Zimbabwe and South African racing. It was 1997. The first runner came out of the woodwork to run in the international stage. It was London News. He beat them in Hong Kong. We've seen some great horses come out of that part of the world and run here. Hoburg's one horse. This is another. Wow, their best horse going to America as well a couple of seasons back. It really is great guns for South Africa, Zimbabwe and the racing industry.
I remember a few years ago, a horse Chestnut, who swept their Triple Crown, was due here to run in the Dubai World Cup, then went wrong tragically just before the race, now standing at stud at the fabled Claiborne Farm in Kentucky.
Well, what a result for Mike de Kock. Look at that. He has trained a double on Dubai World Cup night. Nothing tops it. He is a great guy.
Great emotion, as you can see, and Mike de Kock, after this filly had won the Durban, The first to do it for 50 years, I believe. The first to win the double of the South African Guineas in the Durban July. Well, Mike got on her back that day for the photos. The press loved it, and that shows the demeanour of the horse. It shows the ability of the trainer to produce a filly to do something that no horse has done in 50 years. Read in the quotes after that race in South Africa, Mike said she just keeps surprising me. I don't know how good she is. I don't know where she's going to finish up. Breeders' Cup fillies and mares.
I'm looking at the breeding, Alice. Great Britain stallion, Manshood, out of a British mare, Kama the Danse, that is by a Canadian stallion, Dance in Time. I have no idea.
She's a freak, isn't she?
Yeah.
You remember we saw the great mare Sunline here a few years ago. She's in the same breath as that, and it's a shame that we didn't see extra heat earlier on, because great race mare. Look at the emotion of the lad that leads her up. Here she is coming in, and what a night for Kevin Shea to be associated with this horse.
Go Shea! You're by there! Woo! 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 Hold on, man. Hold on. I'm holding Hank's shoulder.
Everybody get in the shot.
Come on, let's go. Come on, Ox. Come on, come on. No, you should be. Come on, Ox.
Wow, what a victory party on the track itself, and listen to the fans. No, this is not a Godolphin color bearer, not one of the hometown horses. This is the Zimbabwe-bred, raced from South Africa, Ipe Tambe, and listen to the reaction of the crowd.
And we haven't even mentioned the ride as well. Kevin was in a bit of a problem at the 600-metre mark. He had to be patient. When you're on the best horse in the field, the pressure's on. You don't need mistakes to happen in front of you, and she had to stop, switch out. Kevin just rode a perfect race again.
Yeah, this filly's got gears though, hasn't she? She came out and she just, I thought, oh, Paolini, we know he's a battle-hardened veteran. He would just be hard to pass, but she's just got the gears. We just got to give Paolini some credit. He now tops the $2 million prize money. He's been a great servant to Andreas Fowler. He's travelled all around the world, and Subi, of course, a friend of ours here on the World Feed, and just to top $2 million for any racehorse is a great feat.
To take nothing off the winner as well, Chris, I think the points we made in the paddock about Paolini, just looking as though he might have needed the run as well first time out, probably took a little edge off him. He was not going to beat her, though.
No.
And when we watch the Stewards Patrol, the third horse, Royal Tryst, actually looks as though it runs out of room coming down to the wire as well.
Coming to the 200, soft falling rain. The 3-year-old is coming at hard thick. He's picking him up with every stride. Soft falling rain alongside hard thick. He puts his head in front. Soft falling rain is drawing clear. Soft falling rain has won the Godolphin Mile.
Won't you come on, give me more? 'Cause all I do is moan, moan, moan through the day and through the night. Weep, 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 won't you come and hold me tight? Moan, moan, moan through the day and through the night. Oh, 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 won't you come on, give me more?
Right, welcome to another edition of Your Call. And with me, I've got the CEO of Gold Circle, Michelle Narak. We're going to find out what's happening as the new year starts in Gold Circle country. Michelle, thanks very much for coming in and keeping us up to date. Let's touch on 2013 first of all.
2013 for Gold Circle has been a fantastic year. You know, we've traded very well. We've had success at every level. We've been able to start massive projects of bringing the courses together and building more stables at Summerveld. We were a bit affected by the rains at the beginning of December and lost quite a few race meetings, but we managed to come back strongly from that. Trading, as I said, has been good. We've been above budget and doing well when comparing the company to the retail industry. So very happy 2014, though, has started with quite a set of challenges, as you can hear in my
Yeah,
voice.
we were only just into 2013, and you've got to have had all these ideas of where we're going. And why has it been challenging so early in the year?
Well, we've had problems with the track at Greyville. Obviously, the stakeholders are up in arms about the state of the track. We've tried to actually tell everybody in advance that we were going through challenges. This is a building site, and as a result, the track was going to be affected. But we couldn't just pull the plug on all our Friday night racing. It wouldn't be fair to our stakeholders. It wouldn't be fair to us in terms of financial returns that we get from night racing. And the alternative would have been to abandon racing, which we don't want to do. You know, the very purpose, the existence of Gold Circle is to actually make sure that we race as often as we can for as much money as we can. We are there to help our stakeholders the best we can. So fortunately now we've got a mini break which was planned, and all those things that we are planning are coming into shape. We've put the irrigation on the inside of the grass track, which wasn't there before, and hopefully this week we start irrigating ourselves without having to bring bases and do all the things that we've had to do. And the rains have affected us in terms of the building program. We're now running behind schedule by 2 weeks. So
how does that affect us? If you just come in
well,
here.
the civil engineers that are doing the inside of the track and all the changes that need to do the building of the roads, if they run late, we can't deliver the base to Polytrack in time. We are going to deliver the base to Polytrack 2 weeks late, and Polytrack needs a certain amount of time to actually do all the drainage that they do, put the porous asphalt that they do on the base, and then bring in the actual medium itself, the racing medium on top. So if we delay them, then they will delay the delivery of the track. And at this stage, we're looking at a 2-week delivery delay. We're hoping to catch up. We're putting more resources to it to catch up.
It was initially 1st of May, am I right?
1st of May. Now we're looking at 15th of May for the poly to be available for racing purposes. Obviously, Graham's intention was never to start straight away racing on it. He wanted to bring it in, phase it in. He's told me the other day his plan is on July Day to have 3 races on the poly. And the full use of the poly would start after the racing season, so beginning of August, September time. That's when he wants to use the poly on a full-time basis. But on the flip side, the good side is that we are running the projects within budget. We're actually below budget at the moment, which is nice. We're managing that side very well.
You know, when you're talking about the projects, that also means the barns that have been built up at Summerveld, the tracks at Summerveld.
Correct. Paul, this week we should have the poly at Summerveld, the 1,000-meter poly, as you know, should be delivered to the management of the training centre. Tony Rivelin and his team this week. It should be complete this week. The barns are well on time in terms of projects, the 500 odd boxes that we're building. We should also be on schedule there with delivery to us beginning of May as well. That was the plan. Whether the horses will migrate from Clarewood then, I doubt it. Right in the middle of the season, they'll probably wait until the season finishes to do the migration. We're still planning to hand over Clarewood Racecourse to Capital on the 3rd of August. That's
3rd of August.
Yeah, the last race meeting, official race meetings. Obviously, we have told them that if they're not ready with all their changes and they want us to stay on from a racing perspective,
that would be a win.
We could do that for them with pleasure.
Would we have to rent it off them?
Well, basically, no. We don't want the expense. You know, it's a 5 million rand rental per year that we're paying for Clarewood, so obviously we wouldn't be keen to pay for it. But if they wanted a presence, if they want us to maintain the race course and to still have racing there and use only the racing facilities, not the training facilities, we would do that for them with pleasure and keep going if they wanted us to. But the official date for the last official race meeting at Clarewood under Gold Circle banner is the 3rd of August 2014.
Right, a more sensitive part of the subject would be our broadcast of South African images on Teletrack. We seem to be getting mixed messages. What's the latest news there?
The latest news is that in reality what we currently have in Teletrack with this full bouquet of racing going to every single household in the country and every single betting shop in the country, this is going to change. There's been constant pressure from our international suppliers of product over the years. We, the totalizator, we use the product, we bet on it, and we pay them between the three of us, 44 million rand a year.
Sorry, who do you pay?
We pay the suppliers of products, so British Racing, Mauritius Racing, Singapore, Hong Kong, Dubai. We pay them 3% of our turnover, of our total turnover on the product, for the use of that product. So they put the product on a satellite, we beam it down through telemedia into our Rivernia studios, then broadcast it on the DSTV platform. The international suppliers have been putting severe pressure on Teletrack management for years now, that they are not getting paid directly by the bookmakers for the use of their product.
So is there only gripe, this DSTV and telemedia, is there gripe with the bookmaker or just with finance?
No, it's just purely the use of the product.
Okay.
You know, when you look at, especially with the performance of the rand, which has depreciated quite substantially over the last 2 years, that 44, and the fact that turnovers don't grow exponentially with inflation, unfortunately, when you look at that 44 million in their terms, in their hands, the British, which are the biggest supplier of our racing, they're looking at the numbers coming down substantially and saying, guys, this is not acceptable. You are giving that product to every single bookmaking shop in the country, and yet the bookmakers are not paying for it.
Well, sorry, I'm going to keep interrupting you. Why do the bookmakers not pay for that international feed?
I think it's basically that, you know, it's there, it's in the public domain on the DSTV channel, and the bookmakers have the right in terms of the license to bet on it. They have no, at this stage, a legal necessity to actually pay for the product. They've accepted the fact that they need to pay. We've had long discussions with them, and they recognize that there's a need to pay. Now it's a question of putting a mechanism in place where they will pay.
If there's a disagreement, which there seems to be a disagreement between the operators and the bookmakers on what the amounts are going to be, if we reach a stalemate, how does it affect us?
Well, basically, Paul, at this stage, the international suppliers are saying, if the bookmakers don't want to come to the party along the same lines as the totes are doing, then you must not give them the image. And that is the instructions we've received through Teletrack. Obviously, you know, Teletrack is managed by Pumalela, and that's the message that we've got. So what's going to happen is that if a modus operandi is not found, a mechanism is not found in the near future, Teletrack will no longer be able to broadcast any international product. That product will have to be put on a second channel through a second distribution model, a different distribution model, and those that want it will have to sign agreements to pay for it. That's where we are right now. How soon is this going to start? We are told that the 3rd of February is the cutoff date. Although we are trying to negotiate that the status quo remains for a bit longer to give all the parties a chance to come together. Gold Circle is certainly very conscious that we don't want a war in the industry because in a war everybody loses. And we are in a special predicament because we've got, for decades now in Gold Circle country, encouraged the cohabitation of bookmakers and totes because it generates more revenue. We want the one-stop shop, the betting shop where everything happens. And if we were to be stopped from showing the international content into our own betting shops because of the presence of bookmakers, we stand to lose quite a lot of turnover.
Sure, hold that thought for a moment. We're just going to have an ad break. There we go. My mate Jimbo Goodman's Australian horse who won the other day. That's our successful graduate from this week. Right, we're talking to Michelle, and a very interesting topic at the moment. We're talking about basically how are we going to be disadvantaged? Will our customers going to be disadvantaged by this situation?
Yes, I mean, that is a very, very good question, and one which we need to bring to the attention of all our stakeholders in this country. With the change that's going to happen in your home, all you will be left is the DSTV 239 will only be showing the actual local racing. So in other words...
So let me stop you again, Michelle. There's going to be nothing but South African racing.
Nothing but South African and Zimbabwean racing.
That's allowed?
Yeah, that's allowed.
So, but again, it's just, we're building up to Dubai where the South African customers love watching our horses doing well, and now with the inclusion of Sean Terry and Joey Ramsden to the Michael de Kock scenario, will we lose that feed?
Well, I would imagine that Teletrack wouldn't want to lose those big meetings, you know, to the customers out there, to the stakeholders, to the members, to everybody that follow racing. So I'm pretty sure that the big race meetings, they will show them, irrespective of the moratorium, whether it's on the 239 channel or on a Supersport channel. That will still be the Epsom Derby, all those big races, the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe, and all this will be. But the run-of-the-mill daily product on which betting is, unless a consensus is found and a mechanism to pay for those from the bookmakers, you know, those pictures will not be available to everyone, unfortunately. Having said this, the plan is for those special decoders and those special dishes to be rolled out, and they will be prioritized, obviously, because the numbers are limited.
Why is it obvious the numbers are limited? It doesn't make
well,
sense.
The number of decoders that we have in stock at the moment right now is 500. We've ordered some more.
From where?
From it comes from England, as far
Okay.
as I understand. I'm not 100% sure the source. The fabrication of it rolls out 250 a month. So we're going to be having a rival of decoders. So everybody.
Let me stop you.
Sure.
The bookmakers say we want. I'm just using them before I'd use say the house, the guy living at home. The bookmakers say I want that decoder. Are they going to pay the same as if I want it, or if Joe the punter wants it?
Obviously not. You know, let's look at it from a practice where we prioritize the people that make revenues, that derive revenues from that product, will pay for it in a different way than the home user. The home user, if you, for example, a big telephone betting punter, it would be in our interests to actually give you a decoder and a dish and charge you nothing, you know, because you generate revenues for us. On the other hand, if you're a home user, we will charge you a fee which is probably very reasonable, but it will take time for the number of decoders that we need to supply the whole public that want it. It's going to take a bit of time.
This is a prickly problem from what
Absolutely.
You know, is there a chance that consensus is gained? You gain consensus and you say, right, guys, we've resolved everything. We go on back to where we are now.
I hope so. I really seriously hope so. The parties are far apart in terms of the negotiations right now, but there was quite a bit of light at the end of the tunnel last week when the KZN Bookmakers Society has negotiated with us and established a way forward for the month of February, so which has been accepted by the Teletrack management, and now this morning accepted by the British suppliers of product, which are the biggest in terms of numbers. So we've got consensus for the month of February. Whether that consensus can be rolled out into a permanent situation, I don't know.
If you do, these new special decoders won't be needed. Am I right?
Yeah, well, hopefully, Paul. But there are so many issues, and the situation is so fluid and changes every day that I can't give you a definite answer. My message today is to say there are going to be changes in the way you get your racing product at home. No doubt about this. Whether it happens now or in the future, there will be changes. Hopefully not too many, and we don't want to disrupt those thousands of people that actually watch the product. But we might end up...
Michelle, it's going to be detrimental. We're now putting more costs on the guys. We're going to have some people who can't get it. It's not going to help the industry in one way. How are we going to grow this industry if we can't get the feed? And if it's a limited feed, and if there's more costs involved? You've said there are going to be changes. That worries me.
Yeah. I think what we've had over the years is going to change. The Channel 239, which comprises everything, that's going to change. I've got no doubt that the way the messages I've been receiving, that this is going to change. Hopefully the change is going to be seamless, and it's not going to affect a lot of people, but the risks are there that we find ourselves in a situation where the change is drastic. And I agree with you, the industry can't afford this. And that's why at Gold Circle we're putting ourselves as a mediator role as strongly as we can to try and bring the parties together and say, come on guys, let's be reasonable.
Why would you be a mediative role when you're part of Phumelelo Gold Enterprises, who should be going in hand?
Yeah, Phumelelo Gold Enterprises doesn't exist anymore. It's the agreements have been broken down. We've now reached arm's length relationship, and the only partnership we've got left is the one about Teletrack, which is the distribution of television images in the country, in South Africa and Zimbabwe. They've been grouped together. There are two fundamental principles that everybody agree with. You know, the one is that people that use the product should pay for it. That's been agreed by both parties. The second one is that Teletrack, as the broadcaster of rights in the South Africa, Zimbabwe region, is entitled to make a profit. Those two principles have been agreed. We are now getting to the stage where we're talking about the quantum. And that's positive, because once you've established principles, it's a question of debate of what is the quantum that one wishes to achieve, and what is the quantum which is affordable to the purchaser. So I'm happy that we've got to that stage where there's two basic principles have been agreed. It's a question of finding now the common ground. And as I said last week, I was very pleased. We managed to achieve, for a period of a month, a consensus on the way forward. And
Michelle, the thing that troubles me here, you got your two sort of pillars you put in place that the people must pay. We've got situations where you get 239 anywhere you go. You just walk into a bar and say, excuse me, put it on 239, I want to watch horse race, and they do it. Those are going to drop away.
Yes, I mean
that's a major loss.
Yeah, it is a major change, but remember that we've got an agreement with MultiChoice. Teletrack has got an agreement with MultiChoice, and they can only broadcast the package to those home users, not to the commercial users.
So home users won't change?
Well, at this stage, home users won't change, but they might have to if the consensus is not achieved with the commercial users.
Yes.
Because then that's the only way for us to control the product, for Teletrack to control the product. The only thing they can do is say, okay, well, we're not going to be showing it anymore. You know, if we can't reach.
Could it ever get to a situation, and I'm thinking out loud here, where you've got the commercial users not receiving it, but the home user receiving it?
I suppose that is, as I said, the situation is very fluid. The ball has been bouncing left, right, and centre, and things have changed since we started earnest negotiations last year in August, September, when the current contracts with the bookmaker societies across the country terminated. The situation has changed immensely. Every day there's a different way of looking at it, and every day there's a new proposal. Every day there's a new way of looking at it. It's very fluid, but as I said, my intention here today is to send a message out there. Things will most likely change. What we currently have will most probably change in the very near future, and you know, just to forewarn everyone that there is a potential for change.
Sure, it's going to be a little bit of a shock for some people out there, but let's hope that the brains trusts and the people who are passionate, who are running the operators, who are running the industry, can get us to go forward without too much of a ripple.
Absolutely. The fact that the two principles have been agreed to, you know, in my negotiations, and I only negotiate with KZN, and that's the bulk of the bookmakers, that the two basic core principles have been agreed to. And that's basically that if you want to use a product, you've got to pay for it, and Teletrack is entitled to make a profit. Those two basic principles have been agreed with the bulk of the bookmakers in KZN. That is very encouraging.
What about a person using a home phone, a mobile, a laptop, a mini iPad, something like that? They sit and watch their racing.
Yeah.
They get the picture?
At the moment, because the picture is on the DSTV platform, it is available. But if it's not anymore, they won't be able to. They will need their decoder.
That has to affect turnovers.
Oh yes, as I said to you, I've explained to you, the situation for us is actually quite scary. We've encouraged the cohabitation with bookmakers. That's the fundamental business model that we have in KZN. And now we need to look at changing this, and it's not a change that's going to happen over time.
You've only got 6 weeks, roughly,
yeah,
till the end of February. Yeah. That is not a long time.
No, it's not enough time for us.
How many times will you guys meet before then?
We've been constantly in communication since, as I said, since last year when the contracts came to an end. And regularly pointing out the problems that we have in our different regions. We are so different in terms of regions that some of us are affected more by some decisions than others, and that's why it's important that we keep on talking, that we keep explaining to everybody where we are, so that hopefully everything is settled without too much losses incurred by either party. In a war, nobody wins.
No, nobody wins. The futility of war. Well, that is really eye-opening, and a lot of people are going to have a lot of people have suggestions of how they go forward, and hopefully it gets to the right people. But let's end on a better note. This doom and gloom has certainly not cheered me up too much. How are we trading?
We're trading well, Paul. As I said, we're very proud to be able to match the retail industry in terms of growth at the moment. Up to the end of November, we were trading at 11%. And the retail industry is up year on year. It was doing 10.8, which was very exciting. Obviously, the weather in December has hampered us. So December has taken a turn for the worse, but January has been good so far. I'm very happy with the results. We're trading on budget or slightly above it, and that's good news.
Is that soccer and racing?
Soccer and racing. I mean, the growth in sport has been good, better than in racing, but starting from a much smaller base, as you know. We were very low in sports turnover, and that is growing now quite nicely. I mean, the growth is substantial, but starting from a low base. So I'm very pleased with the results of the company so far for the first 6 months of the year, well, January being our 6 months. Internationally, we're benefiting a lot from the low rand and fantastic performance of the Formula team that run the international division. They've been absolutely phenomenal. Those have helped a lot. So in general, if it wasn't for the issues that we're facing right now, it would have been a very nice year. The board of Gold Circle has seen consistency in terms of the elections that went through at the AGM on the 5th of December. We've got a consistent board, and that actually is very good for business, that you've got the consistency, the continuity is there, and the decision making follows the path of the strategic plans that you've taken. From that point of view, that's very exciting. Obviously, exciting times in racing in KZN with the changes we're seeing on the tracks and the stabling. It's always nice to have new things. It's scary, at the same time it's exciting. So from that point of view, very good. But we've got serious challenges now with this, the issue of the intellectual property, and we need to resolve them, and we need to resolve them quickly.
Final shot. If any news comes out sooner than later, would you be willing, or one of your partners, or one of the guys from up country coming down, sitting and telling the country what's going on, maybe in a month's time, 2 weeks before deadline?
Absolutely, I would hope so, Paul. In fact, I'm actually surprised that I'm the first one to speak openly about it. I met with our Formula counterparts last week and said the PR campaign needs to start.
Yeah.
We need to advertise, but I understand the difficulties of a fluid situation that changes from day to day. It's difficult to actually mention what's happening, well, with no degree of certainty. But as I said, my focus here was to say things are going to change. You're going to be inconvenienced, albeit for a short while, I hope. With the situation resolving itself very quickly, that we can go back to where we were.
Michelle, thanks very, very much. Wonderful to hear from you. Not quite what I was expecting to hear, but thank you ever so much for coming and keeping us up to date.
I apologize for the voice, but that's about a flu. My son said to me I sounded like Darth Vader.
Don't worry, Michelle, I'll put up with James Goodman every week. But there we go. That's your call for this week.